Hello everyone! Welcome back to our For Love of Homemade Kits series. This is our third layout using our kit for October. And I have been just loving 8.5 by 11 layouts recently. I've really been enjoying doing them, and I have a whole Pinterest board of ideas and sketches. So I decided to go ahead and do an 8.5 by 11 layout for you today. I'm also going to make a fringe heart. If you'll remember, that was our inspiration piece, the fringe hearts by Maggie Holmes from the Bloom collection. And I was never able to get my hands on a set, so I'm going to make my own fringed heart for this layout. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to fussy cut that heart from one of the 3x4 cards in the kit. And then I do not have fringe scissors, so I'm going to hand cut my fringe and layer the pieces of fringe onto this heart. I'm going to use that heart just as a template. It will be completely covered. So I think this is a really great way to make a fringe heart. This went kind of quick and a little easy. I'm going to go ahead and alternate between paper, and you saw me put those strips of washi tape down onto my white cardstock, and I'm going to actually fussy cut those strips of washi tape out and use them as a fringe layer onto my heart. I think you could do this with any kind of heart die cut. Maybe there's one that comes in an ephemera pack that doesn't, the colors aren't right, you don't like it a lot. Oftentimes there are lots of Project Life cards that come with heart images on them, similar to what I am using here. You could also, if you have a larger heart punch or a larger cutting template, or you could even cut a heart on your silhouette, and then you could very easily make fringe hearts just exactly the way I'm doing here. So as you can see, I'm just continuing to go ahead and do a paper layer, and then the washi tape, and then a paper layer, and then the washi tape, and then trimming off the edges. As a last little bit of detail at the end, I hand stitched the top of my heart. And I'm also going to put a little bit of Vintage Photo Distress ink around the edges. Vintage Photo Distress ink covers a multitude of sins, so if there's any little jaggy edges from cutting or different things, that kind of hides them. Next, I'm going to work on my photo. So this photo is of my oldest son when he was 9 months old. He is now 16, and this is another reason I think I have been loving doing 8.5 by 11 layouts. I've been loving scrapbooking these older baby photos that I found of my son. I've just been really enjoying it. It's been a very long time since I've had the opportunity to scrapbook my babies as babies. So I've just been enjoying that process, and you'll probably see a lot more 8.5 by 11 videos on my channel in the coming weeks, just because I've really been going towards those photos a lot more and enjoying scrapbooking them. So you saw me take this wood grain paper from Maggie Holmes and use it as part of a background, and then I'm going to take this text paper. Originally I thought I was going to use 3 strips of the text paper, but you'll see when I get to that point that I changed my mind because it's just very kind of dark for what I'm going for on my layout. So this is where my photo is going to go. I don't know who created this sketch that I showed you at the beginning. It was just on my Pinterest board, but you can find a link to my Pinterest account below, and I have a whole board of just lots of 8.5 by 11 ideas. So this is a 6x6 piece of paper. It's from the Maggie Holmes Bloom collection, and it's just this really nice soft wood grain. I really wanted to bring in some of the wood grain papers into this layout because my son is in an old rocking chair that is probably 70 or 80 years old. It's a family heirloom, and I had professional pictures taken of both of my children sitting in that little rocker. It's not something you want to put your kids in and walk away from, but for a picture, it worked out really well. So my sketch showed a strip above and below that middle piece of paper, and originally I was going to go ahead and use the text paper for those strips, but it was very dark. So you saw me kind of try them out there, and then I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and mix some metals on this layout, and I'm going to use my rose gold washi tape. I'm going to tear it and then put it above and below that strip. You'll notice that I lined the seam up from my 6x6 papers at a very specific spot. And the reason I did that is because I know I want to put my title there. And so when I go to put my title down, you'll see that I'm going to completely cover that seam. So on the finished layout, you don't even notice that there's a seam there. And you would really never notice that that is a 6x6 sheet of paper. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but that wide piece in the middle is 2 inches. So now I'm going to work on my title. My title is going to be super simple. It's just going to give my son's age in this photo, which was 9 months. So I'm just going to put it, and you'll see here, I'm going to set that 9 right on the seam. And then the next part is going to be finding some embellishments. I'm going to add some buttons, and I'm going to go through all these die cuts and kind of decide which ones I want to do. At this point, I'm starting to feel like maybe there's too much pink in this layout. Of course, I have a little boy, and yes, he has like this soft window in the background that is kind of pinky, but I do want to bring in some brighter blues and some darker greens. So that's what you'll see me doing here. I chose my die cuts based on that idea of bringing in some blues and some greens into this layout. And then I found this really cute branding strip on one of the 6x6 papers I had picked out for my kit, and I'm going to use that to help bring in some pops of blue, and I'm going to add another green button to bring in some pops of green as well. And I think that blue plaid paper and the little pieces, pops of blue and green that I bring in here really help this layout. I love how kind of cute and colorful it becomes, and I'm showing you here how I choose my colors and how I'm spreading them around. The background paper of my son's picture has some blue in it. I'm going to add a little more, and then there's some green. I also, off camera, stitched all my buttons. I stitched it just with the same, I stitched through the holes with the same thread that I used on my fringed heart. Very simple, easy, nothing fancy, just stitched them through. I'm going to go ahead and add this acetate piece at the bottom that says remember, and then I'm going to grab this rose gold longer strip, and this is actually what got me started on my layout. So what this strip says is sometimes you never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. There's 2 of them, 2 of those strips that say the same thing on this sheet of paper, and I want to do one in each of my son's books of a picture of when they were younger or a baby with that strip, because I think the sentiment works perfectly for a layout when you have a child that's, now 6'2" and was tiny there. So here's the last little bit of my layout. I'm going to just do some sprinkles with my Heidi Swapp Color Shine, and we will call this done. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and please be sure to check out Christina, Felicia, and Hannah's video as they are uploaded to their channels, and enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you again soon. Bye!